Hey, this is Cruptic again, and I know I haven't made a video like this for a short while, so if you are sub to me for my shitty reviews, then I apologize for the lack of them recently. Anyway, I thought I would take a break from saying why something is shit to explain why I thought the anime series Akame Kill was much better than its manga and overall better than what people give it credit for sometimes. This video is going to have spoilers, so I will try to limit them in case you haven't watched it yet, but if you plan to watch it, then I suggest you do so before you watch this video. I rated the series a 10 and some people questioned the legitimacy of my reviews because of it, so I thought why not make a video on it and my thoughts about it. I'm going to go over some complaints I always see come up about the series and the possible reasoning behind them. Number 1, the anime was shit because everyone died, or the deaths in the anime were unnecessary and stupid. And what I say to this is, do they even know how war works? People die in the most random ways, and you kind of see how it tries to portray that. Shit never turns out the way you expect it to. Also, it followed one major rule that whenever there is a battle with Imperial arms users, someone always dies, and it followed that rule well. This might seem as something that limits the potential of the series, but I don't think it does, because it's leaning more towards how they die and the effect it has on the other characters and overall plot. Number 2, the manga was better overall because less people died, or insert character here didn't die there, which made the story better. I skipped through the manga and I got the gist of what happened differently there, and I have to say, for all the hype about it, I enjoyed the anime's plot a lot more, and that's mainly because it just felt like in that setting with all the war and politics and death, the deaths of those characters were reasonable and more believable to me, which made me enjoy it that much more. Number 3, why did it change tone so much? For example, from someone dying to humor. If it was serious all the time and didn't have all those tonal changes, I would have probably hated it, to be honest. It wouldn't have fit well with the setting. The best way I can explain this is by comparing it to a mini-series from 2015 called Gallipoli that is based on World War I Anzacs in Turkey, which is brilliantly made, and it has the most fucked up deaths followed by humor, because that is what people do when they're put in a situation like that. They want to forget about all the place they're in, even if it's just for a moment, and that's what I thought both series had in common and did very well. It's not something they just put in there to make the viewer feel better. It had a good reason behind it. At least I think so anyway. Number 4, Tatsumi's death was stupid because it was a cliche. I can't really argue with that much because, well, it was, but a cliche is only really bad if nothing new is brought to the table. Number 5, some deaths had no impact on the story or were meaningless. This kind of goes back to what I said about number 1 and 3. That is what political wars are. People from both sides dying because someone ordered them to and no other reason. It portrays that rather well, and it's for you as a viewer to decide how meaningful or meaningless each death was. Anyway, to summarize why I rated it a 10. The depiction of political wars from 2 different perspectives was really well done. You see where both sides are coming from, and there's always 2 sides to a conflict or story. The characters would have gotten along with each other had they not been following orders, or could have possibly come to an understanding or compromise, but they did what they had to do, and even though it was completely fictional, it felt real, and that's something deserving of a 10 in my opinion anyway. Sorry for the longer rant than usual. If you have any suggestions on what I should talk about next, just let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a good one, cunts. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Stop complaining about what the fuck I have in the background. Like, does that really piss people off that much that I have gameplay in the background or something? Anyway, peace out.